Hello, please do excuse this whole situation. I am currently sitting here editing this video and I just realised that I completely forgot to say that the timeline of this video is a little bit all over the place. I've put captions explaining what was filmed when, so hopefully it will all make sense, but we'll see, I guess. Also, in one of my more recent videos, I kind of talked about how I was feeling a bit insecure and hadn't really wanted to talk about CF or chronic illness online really at all. And hopefully from seeing the title of this video, watching this video and hearing what I'm going to say, it kind of helps you understand why that is. Obviously having to stop a drug which I thought was really going to help me has been really hard to deal with, and it's meant that I just haven't really had the energy to talk about CF at all really. Also, because I wanted to take my time to process everything and think about what I wanted to say, it meant that I didn't want to talk about CF online because it felt like I was hiding something because I hadn't told anyone yet. I don't know, but basically it's just taken me a little while to feel ready to talk about all of this, but now I do, and I'm going to talk about it. So yeah. You know when people say that your eyebrows should be sisters, not twins? I don't think these women know each other. But terrible makeup aside, oh, I just need to get on into this video. I just need to get on with it. Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name's Elena and I have cystic fibrosis, and as you can see from the title of today's video, I'm going to be talking all about stopping Kaftrio. Oh, I've been sitting on that one for a little while. It feels like I'm announcing I'm pregnant or something. It's really not that big of a deal. My close friends and my family of course know, but other than that, like on social media, I've kept pretty hush-hush about it. And you might be wondering, well, if you're so uncomfortable about talking about it or you're worried about making this video, why are you? And really, I just thought it was so important that I talked about this and shared my real, true experience, because I've been bleating on about on my Instagram and in my other videos on Kaftrio how important I think it is to be honest in our experiences, and also with drugs such as these, which are quote unquote miracle drugs. It's really important to remember that it's not going to be a miracle for everybody, and that means that some people may have very negative experiences, and if we never hear about them, then we're just perpetuating this false, extremely high expectation of how amazing this drug is going to be. And because I have been so open and honest about when I first went on Kaftrio, and also prior to that being on Simkevi too and how that went for me, I felt it would be really disingenuous to then just be like, yeah, everything's fine, when I haven't been on Kaftrio for quite a few months now. Even though I'm joking and saying that I'm scared to make this, which is all true, I have given myself plenty of time to feel comfortable talking about this, and now I feel okay to put this video out. If you are watching this and thinking, what the heck is Kaftrio? What's she on about? Is this woman sane? Then I highly suggest you go and watch my other two videos that I've done on it first before you come back to this. But just as a quick reminder to everybody, Kaftrio is one of the few drugs that actually is made with the purpose to treat cystic fibrosis. For anyone who doesn't have CF, Kaftrio is a new drug specifically for CF patients that has recently been licensed in the UK. It's so groundbreaking in terms of medications and what we've had to treat cystic fibrosis thus far, because it's helping faulty proteins work better, and it's these faulty proteins that cause us to have CF in the first place. So on paper, having these proteins work efficiently should help improve lung function, it should help our mucus production, so potentially we have less or it's thinner. It should just improve our energy levels. Literally the possibilities are endless. So hopefully that explains a bit better why there's been so much for hoo-ha over Kaftrio and why everyone has been so excited about it. And of course, as a CF patient myself, I was really excited about Kaftrio, because it's like, oh my god, I could be having a drug which could make me feel better, healthier, like my CF isn't as bad as it was before I started Kaftrio. So all of that is going around in your head. So I started Kaftrio back in September of 2020, and literally a day or so shy of being on Kaftrio for 2 months, in November of 2020, I then came off. Kaftrio and have been off it ever since. So yeah, I was on it for pretty much 2 months and then I decided to come off it. Now, the reason I'm sure that you clicked on this video was why? Why did you have to stop Kaftrio? What made you make that decision? What caused you to do that? And the most simplistic answer I can give was that the side effects for me far outweighed any of the pros that I was experiencing, and for the time being, the best thing for my general health was to come off Kaftrio. And when I say general health, I very much mean considering my whole well-being, so not just thinking, oh, it's making my lungs better, so I have to stay on this drug, because my lungs and the well-being of my lungs is obviously a massive part of my health, because that's probably the biggest part of having CF, is how much it's to do with your chest. But that isn't me. My entire being isn't just how well my lungs are doing. So I've got to take into consideration everything. So my mental health, how I'm feeling, my mood, all of that, all the other physical symptoms too. So I came to the conclusion that for the moment, Kaftrio wasn't the best thing for me. To put it even simpler, I suppose, the reason I came off Kaftrio was because I needed to put my mental health first, and on Kaftrio, the side effects that I was experiencing was making my mental health so bad that I was so miserable that I couldn't even enjoy the handful of praise that I was feeling from Kaftrio. So I just thought, this is getting stupid now, I need to come off this drug. And I don't know why, but I feel kind of like, embarrassed is probably too strong a word, but just like icky saying that. And I don't know why, because mental health is so important and it's nothing to be ashamed of or feel gross about. I guess I'm just very conscious of how other people who also have CF may perceive this, and I'm really worried about people thinking that I'm being stupid. So just being like, yeah, it was to do with my mental health, the end. I feel like it'd be easier to talk about it if I was like, yeah, I had an allergic reaction to it. But I don't know why, because it shouldn't be like that. Mental health is so important and I shouldn't feel weird talking about it. But if you've watched any of my other videos on Kaftrio, then you may have guessed that a massive reason for why I came off the Kaftrio was to do with the body image issues. All the weight gain, the skyrocket increase in appetite, bloating, all of that I was just finding impossible to deal with. Putting on excessive amounts of weight from other tablets that I'd been on, and also just having too good of a grasp on my appetite over the past few years, has meant that I've been struggling for a while with my weight, how I look, how I feel about myself. But going on the Kaftrio, this was a drug that no matter what I did, it was making me constantly hungry, constantly just wanting to consume everything all the time, feeling like I was never satisfied. And even when I did somehow get control of my appetite and was eating fairly normally, I was still putting on weight, and it didn't really seem like this was stopping or slowing down. And as you can imagine, that's horrible, because it's horrible feeling like you're out of control of your body and that you can't do anything about it. I just felt so defeated because I was trying so hard to not eat as much, and I was now on a drug which makes you hungrier. So that's a recipe for disaster, really, isn't it? Anyone else with cystic fibrosis watching this will know that it's a horrid feeling like you're a slave to your body and that your body isn't your own anymore. And that's something that we've all felt like through the years of various medical procedures and side effects of tablets, as I mentioned earlier. It's really, really difficult because you just feel like you're sitting back and watching things happen to you and you can't do anything about it. The second side effect that I was having was a really, really bad insomnia, like never before. What's interesting is both with the weight gain side of things and with the sleep insomnia side of things too, is that these are things that I'd been struggling with a little bit before Kaftrio, but now it just felt like these problems were through the roof and just completely unsolvable. Now I was on a drug which was exacerbating these symptoms. I felt like I couldn't go to sleep. It was like I'd get tired, I'd be sleepy, my head would hit the pillow, I would try to go to sleep, and it was like there was a Kaftrio brick wall. I just couldn't fall asleep. It was the most infuriating thing because my body felt tired, I felt tired, but I just couldn't get to sleep, and it meant that I was staying up all night, and then the next day I was sleeping throughout the day. It completely ruined any schedule or routine I had. I was obviously really grouchy, really overtired, really teary all the time. Honestly, lack of sleep just does weird stuff to your brain, and I was in a really bad place. Combining this with then just feeling generally about myself and just feeling gross, really just feeling gross, and then not getting any rest. And to add another thing into the mix, we're all in a pandemic, we're all under a lot of stress at the moment anyway. Using the same phrase as I did earlier, both the insomnia, both the weight gain, and all of that was just a recipe for complete disaster. So now I will pass over to my past self. I did warn you the timeline jumps around a little bit. Similarly to the first video I did on Kaftrio, I wanted to film clips kind of every day documenting how I felt, because I thought it would be really interesting to see the process of me going on Kaftrio, but also me coming off it too. So I doubt many people will have done this. It's day 3 now, not being on Kaftrio and Cali Deco. I noticed immediately, honestly, like the day after I stopped taking it, my chest got a lot worse again, which sucks. I felt like tight-chested, a bit wheezier than usual, than I had been whilst on the Kaftrio. Like I needed to do some physio, which I haven't felt like in quite a while now. Which, I mean, is crazy that the Kaftrio did have that much effect on my chest. But oh my goodness, I've slept better the past 3 nights than I have in like the past 2 months. I could cry. I'm so happy that I can finally like get to sleep. Today, I have very messy hair. I'm feeling a lot less hungry, a lot more motivated. Energy levels really haven't changed. Like they have not got worse since coming off the Kaftrio, because they weren't really better being on it either, to be honest, not really, as time went on. And I slept so much better, so honestly, like, I'm feeling pretty good, not gonna lie. So it is just before I'm going to bed. My chest is like so much achier. Oh my god, my chest, I wouldn't say it hurts, but it's like when you've pulled a muscle, like you're aware of it all the time and it feels really uncomfortable. And when I was on the Kaftrio, that kind of all stopped, so I'm coughing like so much more. It's almost like I have CF. To be honest, I really can't remember what I have and what I haven't said. But the eating, oh my goodness. It's so much easier. Wow. The first couple of weeks I was still struggling. And I think it was just part of like the Kaftrio, just I assume just like flushing out of my system, and also my body just going back to kind of normal and like break the habits that I had gotten on the Kaftrio, so like late night snacking and snacking a lot in general. But wow, I am quite unfit anyway. Oh my god. But since coming off the Kaftrio, I feel like my lungs are like, what have you done? Hello, we're back to present day again. Just to kind of like round off my thoughts there, I wanted to show both kind of my initial thoughts regarding the sleep and the weight, but also my lungs too, because I can't deny that being on the Kaftrio did improve my lungs. It did make them better. And I was pretty shocked about all of that, because my base level lung function and just how stable my lungs are, I'm very lucky with it. And I kind of thought, how much better can it get here, considering that I have CF and my lungs at a base level are this good? Realistically, are they going to get much better? And they did, which I think speaks volumes on how amazing Kaftrio can potentially be for people, and I know will be for so many people that take it. I mean, even though I was talking about the downsides and how kind of hard it was feeling in myself, my lungs go back to how they were before I was on Kaftrio, and really notice the difference of them getting worse again from the pain like in my lung where mucus and infection was, also just to feeling breathless. Even though that was hard to deal with, I definitely stand by the fact that coming off the Kaftrio was 100% the right decision for me. Just being able to sleep properly, to get a good night's sleep, actually rest, not feel like a grouchy old woman 24/7 was amazing. Oh my goodness. I mentioned in other videos, but I had been on steroids for quite a few years, and they really affect your appetite and also your weight gain and all of that. And I'd come off steroids and then gone straight onto Kaftrio. So I hadn't really experienced at all what my natural appetite has been like in years. I don't know what my body actually does on its own without input from other things. And now being off steroids, now being off Kaftrio, I can actually like choose when I want to eat. I'm the lightest I have been in years, and I couldn't be happier about it, in case you couldn't tell. Oh my goodness, I look so rough in these clips, and there've been so many cutaways, I'm so sorry. But anyway, since coming off the Kaftrio and finally being able to lose the weight that I've wanted to for so long has really helped restore faith in myself, because for so long actually I really did think, oh, maybe it's my fault, maybe it's just me, maybe I have no self-control when it comes to eating. But coming off Kaftrio and having a prolonged period of time without any strong drugs influencing my appetite has made me realise that it really wasn't my fault, and just helped me be a bit kinder to myself. All of that being said, if you are somebody who's underweight and maybe struggles with their appetite, then Kaftrio is going to be amazing for you. It's going to be a great tool for you to use to help you reach a healthy weight again. But for me personally, I'm not in that place. I don't need help with my appetite or my weight, and I'm trying to lose weight and go the other way. So for me, that side of things was a real negative of Kaftrio, not a benefit. But in conclusion, I still completely stand by my decision to stop the Kaftrio. It was definitely the right decision for me. But even though I am coming across like very happy about it, because it was a positive thing, because it made me feel worse when I was on it and ultimately made my quality of life worse than before, it still doesn't mean that I don't get sad about it and I don't feel angry and I don't get upset, because it's still a drug that obviously had the potential there to help me and it didn't. So it's complicated. There's a lot of feelings that come with it. I feel like this video is probably a little bit of an emotional roller coaster and there's lots of things to say and lots of points of discussion, but hey, that's just CF for you. Just talking in a bit more detail now about why I was so scared to announce who do I think I am? This. I don't know if it's just an insecurity of mine and me being insecure about what other people will think of me, or if this is a genuine sort of like realistic fear to have. But I was really worried how this would be received by other people with CF and the CF community. If you don't have CF, the thing you've got to understand is that when new drugs such as Kaftrio come out, it is never as simple as here's an amazing drug, you take it, you feel better, happily ever after, the end. It's always so much emotional baggage that comes with it, so many things that you've never had to think about before, so many expectations, quite a bit of social pressure too. But the social pressure I have really felt, because Kaftrio isn't accessible to everybody and some people can't go on Kaftrio because of antibiotics or drugs that they're already on, which would interact. So there are people who desperately want to try this drug and be on this drug but can't be. So I felt like a lot of people will think I'm very ungrateful, being very stupid for now sort of passing up the opportunity. I think so many CF patients are taught that lungs come first, always, and trump everything else, and the rest of your health comes second. And as I've got older, I don't know how much I necessarily agree with that sentiment, because other parts of your physical health and of course your mental health are really important too. But regarding the Kaftrio specifically, maybe it's controversial to say, I don't know, but I'd much prefer have worse off lungs but be happier than have better lungs and be miserable. So if you are someone who is on Kaftrio and it's working for you, that's honestly incredible. That's what it's there for. However, if you are someone more like me, who maybe you're not on Kaftrio, or maybe you're struggling with the side effects, please just know that you're not alone. And same as everything with CF, unfortunately, nothing's simple. Anyway, I really hope all of that made sense. Who knows when this video will come out? Who knows if it will make any sense? We'll just find out. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I don't think I mentioned that once. Please do like and subscribe. Or don't, I don't know. But yeah, see you all soon.